I did tease the Aztec football program. I do want to mention I'm a big college football fan. Obviously, I'm a high school football coach. Football's in my blood. I love it. We don't get to spend too much time talking about it during the week just because, we're the flagship of the Padres. We don't have a football team in town. I'd like to get the people fired up for Aztec football, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. But I do want to mention, for all of you college football fans out there, and just football fans in general, today is the last day, the last Saturday of football until college football rolls again. We are 217 days away from kicking off the next college football season. A little bit less when it comes to high school football because it starts a little bit earlier. And when we get to the fall, we will have some high school football mixed in. San Diego's got great high school football. But I want to talk about San Diego State. I'm going to tell you right now, and Sean Lewis mentioned it in his press conference, you better get the tickets now. They don't pay me to say it, but I'm the highest recruiter right now. San Diego State football is a sleeping giant. And this needs to be, over the next 2 years, this is what needs to be on the forefront for San Diego State to get themselves out of the Mountain West Conference. Mountain West Conference has been good to the Aztecs for the majority of the time. They've played some favorites. They got set special deals with Boise State on football and TV contracts. I get all that. And right now it's helping out the Aztecs when it comes to college basketball. It's a lot better of a college basketball conference. But for a major city like ours, the D1 program in town should be in a Power 5 school. Should be a Power 5 school in a Power 5 conference. There will be another round of realignment. And this is not my realignment saga. It's not my realignment story that I like to give all the time. I could spend 4 hours on conference realignment, 8 hours, 12 hours. You want to talk conference realignment, send me a message at bserp on Twitter, Instagram. I'll answer it. I could talk your ear off about it. That needs to be the ultimate goal for the Aztecs in the next 2 years. In the next 2 years, based on the way the college football playoff is currently assembled, Aztecs have a real good chance of making the college football playoff if they win the Mountain West. There's 12 teams that are going to be in the playoff. There's going to be 5 conference winner automatic qualifiers. They've already announced that the Pac-2, their champion, will not count. Even though that the Aztecs get to play both those schools next year. Even more of an advantage when it comes to negotiating whether or not who's in and who's out. If the Aztecs beat both Washington State and Oregon State, they're going to be in a good spot. They would win the Pac-2 in that sense. But that's not why it's exciting. A big reason why Aztec basketball is so good and is built on and is so exciting to watch, at the end of the year, they have an opportunity to win a national championship. Not because of how good they are, but they have a fair shot of making it. You make the tournament, you got a shot. It might be more difficult for some schools than others, but you have a chance. We saw that last year. The San Diego State Aztecs basketball program was in the national championship game. I don't know if they'll ever get back there. That is such a hard thing to do. I mean, it took Gonzaga years to get to that point. They still haven't won it. For a program as good as Gonzaga, they've never done it. They've made it twice, but they've never done it. But you have a chance. In football, I mean, you're in a group of 5 school, forget it. You got zero chance. You're not at the table. You're at the kids' table. You're not sitting with the big boys in the Power 5. It's really starting to turn the Power 2. I mean, even schools in the Big 12, which I am a Big 12 fan after attending TCU. And I can talk about Big 12 football ad nauseum, but they barely have a seat at the table. They got like a little table right next to the big table. They're kind of half in. But this is why San Diego State needs to find their way. They need to get one of those last chairs in musical chairs, or else they'll get left behind. And they just built a brand new stadium down in Mission Valley, which obviously is a great venue for soccer because they keep selling that place out. The Aztecs can sell that place out. They got to change who they are, and they have already done that with the addition of Sean Lewis. I'm a huge believer in Sean Lewis. I was, when they made the hire, I was super excited. I thought that was the best hire San Diego State could potentially make. There's a couple other names out there that I liked. I didn't know this was an option. I loved the move. And then I got to meet Sean Lewis. And I got to talk to Sean Lewis about what he envisions for San Diego State football. And what Sean Lewis envisions for San Diego State football is an exciting offensive brand of football that we have not seen since probably Marshall Faulk was running the ball, and a lot of that to do with Marshall, or since Don Coryell was airing it all over Qualcomm Stadium, Jack Murphy Stadium at the time, San Diego Stadium, whatever it was. They're going to be snapping the ball every 10 to 15 seconds. They're going to be airing it out, and they're going to be scoring a lot of points. That's going to be an exciting brand of football, regardless of who they're playing. They're going to score a lot. Now, he's going to emphasize defense as well. He's an offensive-minded guy. He is a quarterback, played quarterback in college. He turned around Kent State for the couple of years that he was there. Nobody wins at Kent State. Sean Lewis did. How do you recruit Kent, Ohio? You don't. It's a lot easier to recruit San Diego State. And they've already started to do that. So they brought in the offensive-minded coach. He's the guy that wants to snap the ball. Here we go. There you go. Snap it, and every 10 seconds on the ball, moving it, no huddle. They have the philosophy in place. Well, you need a quarterback. He went and got that. He's got Danny O'Neal out of Cathedral, Indianapolis. A 3-star athlete, 6 foot, 185 pound, phenomenal quarterback coming out of Indiana. Now, he wasn't one of the best, like top 10 players in Indiana, but he's still a really good one of the best quarterbacks that the Aztecs have gotten in the last couple of years. Not only did they get him out of high school, they also got a transfer from Florida State who is from California originally, who is a 4-star athlete, 4-star quarterback coming out of high school that is now a 3-star transfer in A.J. Duffy. So you got 2 quarterbacks that could go out there and duel it out. You also brought in weapons, and you brought in athletic players, not only from San Diego, like guys like Isaiah Buxton and Anthony McMillan and Will Sinfrini out of Carlsbad High School, just to name a few, but you went up to Orange County, and you went to the Trinity League, and you flipped a guy like Jason Mitchell, an athlete out of St. John Bosco in the Trinity League. St. John Bosco and Mater Dei are the 2 best high school football teams in the country every single year. Those are the players that San Diego State needs to go attract. The guys from Bosco and Mater Dei and Rancho Santa Margarita and Orange Lutheran and J. Sarah Catholic and Centennial in Corona and Mission Viejo. I mean, those are the top echelon teams in California. While also hanging on to the guys from Lincoln and Cathedral and St. Augustine and Oceanside and Helix, Mater Dei Catholic, Granite Hills, who has turned into a nice little power out there in East County. Has won the Open Division Championship, getting some of their best players. They did it in the transfer portal. They picked up Jerry McClure, who is a 4-star transfer receiver who is from San Diego, went down and was at Mater Dei Catholic. They brought in other local products via the transfer portal. Tano Latuli transfers from Army, played at Cathedral Catholic High School, had the benefit of coaching him. Guy's a phenomenal football player. Might have got overlooked for his height. Guy's going to be a big impact player for San Diego State. They're doing all the right things. And in this day and age of college athletics, San Diego State, with the transfer portal, with recruiting, with a guy like Sean Lewis that gets it, a younger coach that understands everything you have to do in social media, everything you have to do in recruiting nowadays for high school kids, relating to the players, relating to the student athlete, understanding name, image, and likeness. He has it all. You can flip this program like that. I would expect the next 2 years are pretty big for San Diego State. They did a good job in a small amount of time recruiting Southern California. They need to make that a great job, especially And I'm going to tell you right now, especially since the two marquee programs of Southern California have been USC and UCLA, and you can't sell playing on the West Coast anymore because they're going to be traveling all over the country to play in the Big Ten. That's an equalizer for San Diego State. That's a major equalizer for San Diego State. But they got to be able to recruit. And so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Sean Lewis. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of his staff. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the players they've brought in. I think they're going to have a really good season next year. You still have to give them time despite the hype. I might be hyping them up a little bit too much, but I do think that they can flip it very quickly and put together a really good football team and now an expanded playoff. Could you imagine? I don't think they would ever host, but could you imagine San Diego State on a Saturday playing in a playoff game? Even if they're just playing the likes of some of the teams in the SEC and the Big Ten would work wonders for San Diego State. It's a bright future for the Aztecs moving forward. Absolutely bright future.